Hi Reynas, it's me Reyna back at it again with another video. If you're new to my channel, my name is Reyna. I'm an up-and-coming pageant analyst. If you want to join my Reyna family, which is what I call my subscribers because subscribers feel so impersonal, all you have to do is hit the subscription button down below. Okay, let's get into it. So I'm going to try to keep my videos a little bit shorter. A lot of my videos tend to be very long, very lengthy. So I need to work on making my videos a little bit more shorter so your guys' attention span can last for the entirety of the video. But nonetheless, I thought I would go ahead and talk about one of the fan favorites of this Miss Universe Philippines 2025 competition, which is none other than Miss Ma Ahtisa Manalo. So unless you've been living under a rock and you have been following Miss Universe Philippines, you should know who Ahtisa Manalo is, or at least have some familiarity with her. I know that she's been doing pageants for a very long time prior to being in the media and being a little bit more known. But my first understanding, or my first interaction, not interaction, but I guess exposure to her rather, was during Bining Bining Pilipinas 2018, where she was in Catriona Gray's batch. She ended up winning Bining Bining Pilipina International, which was, I think, the second highest crown at Bining Bining Pilipina back in 2018. So she was basically the first runner-up, essentially, of Bining Bining Pilipinas, think of it that way. And she went on to become the first runner-up at Miss International 2018 or 19, whatever the year was. She ended up placing first runner-up. So Ahtisa Manalo back in 2018 gained the hearts of many fans. I think when I think of Ahtisa Manalo, even today, I still think of her Bining Bining 2018 stint as one of the most memorable moments of Ahtisa Manalo. It really solidified herself as a beauty queen and her brand. I specifically think of that jean campaign. I forget what the jeans were. I apologize, but there was a campaign and there was a moment specifically when she was walking down the runway and then she turns around and leaves, and her and Catriona have this really cute moment where Kat does a little twirl during her pasarela and just forges forward. And I remember that moment being a key moment that I can think of right now in my head, and I can still play Ahtisa Manalo's pasarela during that time. In addition to that, I also remember her performance at Miss International being something that is quite memorable as well. From there, she came to Miss Universe Philippines last year and competed, where she ended up winning the second runner-up title at Miss Universe Philippines. She was bested by Stacey Gabriel and Chelsea Manalo, and she went on to become the representative for the Philippines for the first ever edition of Miss Cosmo. At Miss Cosmo, a few things happened. First and foremost, unfortunately, she sustained an injury, and then, but she was able to recover at least enough to get on stage, so kudos to her. She went on to the preliminaries, and then she went on to the finales, where she ended up placing into the top 10. That upset a lot of fans. We're not going to get too much into Miss Cosmo because that's not really the point of this video. I'm just giving you guys a backstory for those of you who are just like, who is she, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, great. So now she has come back to Miss Universe Philippines. I would say it was, to a lot of people's surprise. I think a lot of people wanted her to come back, but they assumed that she wasn't. I think she maybe even made a statement at one point that she wasn't coming back. I don't remember, but I do believe, so don't quote me, but I do believe she did say she's not coming back. But to many people's pleasant surprise, she did come back to represent Quezon Province. And I believe that it was because she said that there was a vacancy. I think Maureen Montaigne was going to fill that position, and then she maybe withdrew or something happened. Nonetheless, there was a vacancy, and so Ahtisa Manalo ended up stepping up after being presented with the opportunity by the organizer of Quezon Province, and now she's here as a competitor. She's at it again, and she is looking to snatch the crown, just as every other lady competing at this competition is doing. So let's get a little bit into the nitty-gritty of Ahtisa Manalo. Again, I'm going to try to keep this very sweet. Where do I see Ahtisa Manalo now? How do I see the direction of her current time at Miss Universe Philippines? It's only been about 3 or so weeks, so there's still a lot of time to kind of see what's going to happen. There's still a lot of room for, you know, showcasing Ahthisa's growth from, you know, her previous stint at Miss Universe Philippines to now. So yeah, right now, Ahtisa said that she's taking a more relaxed approach. There was an interview done with her at the press conference for Miss Universe Philippines, and she did mention how she is trying to take a more relaxed approach, how she wants to be a lot more relaxed, a lot more in the moment, and just really enjoying the competition. I think that this is a good mindset to have. I think you still have to keep in mind that it is a competition, it is a beauty pageant, and you are at Miss Universe Philippines, one of the most difficult and competitive beauty pageants in really the universe. So I don't think that eradication of competitiveness and keeping yourself a little bit on your toes is completely warranted, but I do think at least overall having a relaxed approach and being calm and being confident really is okay. I think as long as your calmness is coming from and stemming from confidence, there's nothing wrong with taking a more relaxed approach and enjoying the moment. Also, it's a lot more relatable and it's easy for people to connect with you if you are more relaxed, more yourself. And so I think that approach is okay so long as she still carries the essence of a beauty queen. So that's that on that. In terms of styling, so let me start off with the positives. Okay, so I think that she's doing a really good job with keeping that calm and relaxed approach. So that is something that I really enjoy. During her personality interview, although I did not put her in my top 10 for the personality interview, she still did rank really high. To be quite frank and quite transparent, a lot of the girls ranked high during the personality interview, and Ahtisa Manalo got an 8 out of 10 for me, which is really good. So I thought she was still herself. I thought she was very bubbly, very cute. I especially and particularly liked her answer about why she loves being a Filipina or what she loves most about being a Filipina. I thought it was very relatable. Not even just if you're Filipino, but even myself. I think that it's something that many cultures carry with them. And if you're wondering what I'm referencing, she basically said that anytime that she goes abroad or anywhere in the world and she sees another Filipino, instantly it's a connection. It feels like family, it feels like home. And I think that is something that a lot of people from a lot of different cultures and countries can relate to. So I really loved that answer, and I really loved how she was quite relaxed. And whether or not the content was completely perfect or not, she still really had a relaxed approach, which I think on the personality aspect of that interview, of that Q&A session with Pina Beauty, I think she really aced the personality part. I think the content can still be worked on, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Moreover, she also, on her end, has the support of the Filipino people. So right now, Miss Universe, the organization, not Miss Universe Philippines particularly, but Miss Universe organization is looking to go more into marketing, more into branding, more into an ambassador. And the Philippines is a pageant country. It is a place that if you take your investments as a pageant itself, as an organization, you will get a return in your investment, especially if the queen is as beloved as Ahtisa Manalo. I think that Filipinos, even without Ahtisa having the Miss Universe Philippines sash and crown, are already gathering behind her. She has many international fans as well. And although some people do claim that she's overhyped, still the amount of love that she receives outweighs gigantically, enormously the amount of hate she receives. She really is a loved queen, and she really has the backing of diehard supporters, and that is something that is very admirable. And I think it speaks volumes to the amount of work that she's done in her community, and also just the amount of love she just receives in general. I think it speaks volumes about her, and I think that if she was to win Miss Universe Philippines, she could be a really good ambassadress to the Miss Universe organization, because she already has the hearts of many Filipinos and many pageant fans globally. So I think for that reason, she could definitely be and is a good candidate for the Miss Universe Philippines crown, because she simply will be able to carry across the branding and marketing aspect of the Miss Universe Philippines and the Miss Universe organization. So I think that is definitely a plus for her, especially in this era of Miss Universe. So let's get into a few constructive criticisms. Now, constructive criticism to me is never destructive, meaning that I never say it in a way that should hurt the contestant if they were ever to look at this, including Ahtisa. So nothing that I'm saying is definite. It's just an opinion. It's not fact. And it's also not meant to tear Ahtisa down, but rather just make a constructive notes that I think could help uplift her, because the goal of my videos is that if ever a contestant was to come across my video, then they should feel like it's empowering, and it should be something that they can take away with them to help strengthen their, I guess, their journey to the crown. Okay. So my thing right now is styling. So I do think styling is important in today's era of Miss Universe. I had the same note for Chelsea Manalo as well, where I just thought that her styling was a little bit lacking, and she's so gorgeous. Chelsea Manalo, I mean, probably was the face of the competition last year's edition of Miss Universe. So I feel like her styling really just made a big difference, and I really wish they would have been more aggressive with her styling. But going back to Ahtisa Manalo, I think that her styling actually is a little bit off. I think that she's She's very Manika to me, very Manika. And I really feel like she's very doll-like, very beautiful, very Pauline Emma Links type beauty. You know, like Pauline Emma Links to me is very doll-like, very Manika, very flowy, very she just has like an essence, a very ethereal type of beauty. And so I think Ahtisa Manalo is more of that ethereal beauty as well. And so some of the styling choices I think just don't suit her very well. I think that also the makeup sometimes is a little bit off as well. And that's not her herself. Like, she has a good aura, she has good energy, and she has a very beautiful face. So it's just about getting that correct styling that fits her. Every person has styling that suits them and doesn't. Everyone, including myself, right? Black is not necessarily my color, to be honest. This is not my color, but I'm also not at a beauty competition right now. So I'm in my home, comfortable. But nonetheless, I think that if she went with more pastels, baby pinks, baby blues, whites, I think those colors would really brighten her up and brighten her tone and really just match the energy that she exudes on camera and in person. She's very inviting, very bubbly, very sweet. She's like the sweetheart of the Philippines right now, I would say. And so I think clothing that matches that aura and that essence will only enhance those vibes and those energies that she exudes out to the audience. And so I would like to see her in styling similar to what I think Miss Baguio has been presenting lately. I think the Baguio team does a phenomenal job with Miss Baguio's styling, and I think something of that nature would really suit Ahtisa Manalo very well. Now, that's not to say that she can't come out with more fierce, more, you know, fiery, like the vibes, right? She can, and I've seen her do it. I've seen her pull it off as well, but there's a way to do it. I'll put some posts here of Ahtisa where she's a little bit more fiery, a little bit more sultry, that really worked out for her because she can switch it up. So it's not that she shouldn't ever, you know, veer on the side of sultry and sexy, but I think it should be in a way that suits her and fits her. So that'd be something that I would definitely pay attention to. And I do think styling is important because, again, Miss Universe organization at this current time is really considering branding, marketing, and they're considering styling as well. Shanice Palacio and Victoria, the current reigning Miss Universe, had some pretty impeccable styling. And whether or not you like them or you think that they should have won, their styling during the preliminary activities, you know, leading up to the Miss Universe competition was quite impeccable. It was very bold and it suited them very well. So I think getting the styling together is going to be quite important for Ahtisa, and I think that she will soar if she can just get the right styling. Additionally, the communication skills. So I think Ahtisa has the naturalness down. I think she's very natural when she speaks. She's very herself. She's very bubbly. I think that she's very lighthearted. She's relaxed. And if she is nervous or anxious, it's not really too apparent in terms of the way she speaks. So she doesn't start shaking or anything. I've seen her stumble a little bit here or there, but nothing that's like, oh my gosh, you know. The thing is, this batch, after watching the Pina Beauty sponsored Q&A session, the personality interview, whatever you want to call it, there are quite a number of really good communicators who also have really good personality. And so sometimes Ahtisa, it's like Pauline Emma Links. Similar to Pauline Emma Links, and the reason why I always compare her and Pauline is because Pauline also is hit or miss. Sometimes her content is so good and it's just perfect and it fits the question and she answers it so well. And sometimes Ahtisa does the same. Sometimes her content is really good, it makes sense. At the Pina Beauty interview, I really liked her content for most of her answers. I think she answered the questions quite well, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's a little off, they miss the mark. And I feel like that happened during Miss Universe Philippines last year as well. And so all of that to say, I really hope that she's just continuing to work on her communication skills and making sure that she's answering the questions being asked, not answering it in the way she interprets, which is a thing that a lot of contestants do, not just Ahtisa, but answering it in the way that it is asked. And I think that as long as she can do that, and I do see improvements in her communication skills, so I want to say that I do see improvements. And so as long as she just keeps building upon what she is building upon currently, as long as she keeps building upon her communication skills and she keeps carrying that, you know, progressive mindset and mentality with her, I think she'll be okay come time for the competition. I think definitely she should use all the media interviews that she can and the sponsored Q&A sessions to practice. Use it as a platform to practice your communication, strengthen it, and then rewatch, hopefully she's rewatching her interviews to go back and take notes and assess where she can, build upon what she's already done. Because it's good to be good, but it's even better to be great. So we want to get her from a good communicator to a great communicator, and from a great communicator to an excellent communicator, like Laura Datta, Catriona Gray, Zozabini, etc., Arbinola. So I think if we can get her to just fill in those gaps, she will be well on her way to potentially winning the crown. Where do I see Ahtisa Manalo to end this video, because we're already at 15 minutes and I promise I'd keep it short. So where do I see Ahtisa Manalo currently? Where do I see her, do I see her winning? Do I see her not winning? I do think at present moment, she can definitely at least break into the top 5. Simply, I will be honest, part of this is influenced by her popularity. Part of this is influenced by the fact that I think just the name, she's a household name. I think it's going to be hard for her to not break into the top 5, especially at MUPH. I think she's so loved, and no matter how much we want to eradicate bias within judges, I think if they are from the Philippines and they're familiar with Ahtisa Manalo, they're going to have some bias towards her. But I think that she also has some merit behind her. I've seen Ahtisa Manalo perform really well on the runway. I've seen her passerella, and I have liked what she's presented on the stage. But again, it's not consistent for me. Sometimes on the stage, I see her and I see, wow, I'm blown away. I'm like, she's doing really good. She looks great. Actually, at Miss Cosmo, I quite liked her passerella specifically. Whether or not you liked her evening gown, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just the passerella on its own. I thought she looked really good, and I thought she presented herself really well. I actually thought her passerella at Miss Cosmo was better than her passerella at Miss Universe Philippines. At Miss Universe Philippines, her passerella to me was good, but it was also just okay long. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, I wasn't blown away. At Miss Cosmo, I actually quite enjoyed her passerella, and I thought that she did a really good job. And so that's the inconsistency that I'm speaking to, because at the press conference for Miss Universe Philippines, I felt like the energy was okay, and that's where I got worried when she mentioned how she's taking a relaxed approach, because I just thought, I hope that she does not mean that when she hits the stage to do her passerella, she's going to be relaxed then as well. Because during swimsuit, for example, it's not the time to be, I mean, you can be relaxed, but you also have to have a go mode, right? So I hope that she just keeps her go mode on. So I think that as long as she presents to her maximum ability, which I've seen her do before, I don't see a reason why she won't make it past the top 20 and 10 onto the top 5. From there, I don't know, because we do have some really strong speakers. We have Winwin Marquez, who's an excellent speaker. We have Eliana Aduano, who's an excellent speaker. We have Samar Island, who to my surprise is a really great speaker as well. Cebu City is a really great speaker. So she does have, once entering the top 5, some competition. And before anyone gets upset that I'm saying that, just keep in mind that she was bested by 2 other ladies at MUPH last edition. So this does show, and she was bested by Catriona Gray at Bini Bini Pilipinas. So this does show that there is room for improvement for Q&A, and so long as she's improving, so long as she's doing her best to, build upon that, I don't see why she can't even win. But it just really depends on her. So I'm not going to say, right now, she's not my winner. Right now, I don't really have a winner, because it's a little early for me to know who I think the winner will be. I have sentimental favorites, but I don't have a winner per se. But yes, I could see her in the top 5. But it's not promised. We have a tough batch. VVV was in the top 5, and then she didn't make past top 10 last edition of Miss Universe Philippines. So, it's a tough batch, it's a tough competition. As long as she keeps up with her training and she keeps progressing and what she's learning and what she's doing, she should be fine. Alright, you guys, I hope you guys liked my video. If you guys would like to subscribe and join the Reyna family, it would mean the world to me. If not, and you're just stopping by, no worries. Thank you for coming anyways. If you guys don't mind giving this video a thumbs up, it really does help bolster my video. It helps bolster this video and spread it out to other people, and it means the world to me. Comment down below your thoughts of Ma Ahtisa Manalo. I would love to know what you guys think. I know she's a very beloved queen, so I'm expecting nothing but my comments to be filled with how much you guys love her. But don't just tell me you love her, tell me why. I want to know why you love Ahtisa, what you love about Ahtisa, and even if you love Ahtisa, do you think that, or do you agree with the room for improvement in the communication and styling department, or do you disagree? Do you think that her styling is perfect and you like the direction she's going in? Tell me why, because I honestly do learn so much from you guys, and a difference of opinion is always invited here. So I would love to hear what you guys are thinking. If you agree with me though, put it in the comments as well, because it makes me feel good. Okay, I love you guys so much. If you guys want to get in connection with me, go ahead and hit me up on Instagram. My Instagram is linked in the bio down below, as well as my vlog channel. If you want to know more about what I do on my daily life and what I'm doing, I have it on my vlog channel. I have a video coming out this weekend for my vlog channel. I have not been consistent, but I plan to be consistent moving forward. So please go support my vlog channel. It really means a lot to me. I love you guys so much. Maraming salamat po. Dhanyavad, shukran, shukriya, sheshe arigatou gozaimasu, terima kasih, muchas gracias, and thank you guys so much. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful and blessed week. Okay, bye, Reynas.